Hello everybody and welcome to another gsfCREW prediction segment. I am not Courtney Ponce, I'm Alf Joaquin, executive producer for Get Sports Focus, and I'm here to do a little bit of a switch with Courtney because a lot of you may not know that she is from SoCal, so I figured this would be a great opportunity for somebody from SoCal to talk about the SoCal teams. So let's get right to it. Courtney, championship week, you got the biggest game in the state.
Now, some of you may not know this, but I'm from Southern California, so I thought, why not shed some light on one of the biggest games going on this weekend, St. John Bosco versus Corona Centennial for the Pac-5 Division Championship game here at Angel Stadium. Now, St. John Bosco are the defending champs, and they just beat Long Beach Poly last week, 37-21. Their only loss this season was to Bishop Gorman. They'll be led by their quarterback and future UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen, who's going to try and lead them to their second consecutive Pac-5 title. Meanwhile, Centennial will come here after barely clinching a victory over Bishop Amat, 38-37. Seriously, one of the best high school games I think I have ever seen. Big shout out to the defensive line who held the Lancers on the 1 yard line and didn't let them get in for that 2-point conversion for the win. Now they're going to be without their running back JJ Taylor once again due to appendix surgery. So who's going to be the go-to guy? Javon McKinley. Now this guy was on fire during the semis with 3 touchdowns. Put the ball in his hands and he is gone. Another thing I like about Centennial is their tag team quarterback system with junior Anthony Catalano and senior Nate Ketteringham. These guys are unstoppable, untouchable. They're doing something right if they've made it this far. They're switching off every series and it's working for them. I talked to both of the guys after the big win. Nate told me that they're gonna win and they're gonna get that ring. Anthony told me that they are not done yet and they play fast and physical. Quite honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with them. It's gonna be a big matchup here in Southern California. It's about to go down.
And it is about to go down because yours truly is gonna go down there to witness Bosco versus Centennial. Now, moving on up to CCS, NorCal. Kaylee Krish is standing by to talk about the Bells and the SHP. But before that, Kaylee, what do you think of all the mess that's gone on in the CCS Open Division bracket?
First of all, I mean, this is crazy. Every team that we anticipated being here isn't here except for SHP. So it's Bellerman and SHP. It's a crazy matchup that I don't think anybody saw coming.
Well, it's definitely the biggest game in the CCS, so who do you think is going to win?
Well, let me first just remind everyone that I picked against both of these teams last week. So, I mean, I thought that SHP would be overwhelmed by the momentum of Los Gatos, and I didn't think that there was any way that Bellerman could stop Valley Christian's run game, but they did. I mean, they held Kurt Johnson to just 35 yards. Both of these teams surprised me, so I really don't know what's going to happen this week. All I know is that it's playoffs and anything can happen. But I can't jump on the Bellerman bandwagon just because Justin did last week, so I'm going with SHP for the win.
Well, the Gators, I mean, they were at the state championship last year and they represented NorCal's Division III. But Bellerman, on the other hand, I mean, they've been to the state championship twice already, and Coach Johnson knows exactly how to prepare the boys. Do you think the Gators are a little bit of an underdog coming into this game because of that?
Yeah, I mean, they're still the undefeated team. Like I said, it's the Cinderella story with Bellerman, but I got to give it to the vets. I got to give it to SHP.
Okay, well, who do you think's got a better storyline? I mean, you got SHP, small school, competing in the big open division, and then you have a school like Bellerman, who's not even supposed to be here. They were picked to finish 7th, and here they are. They took down Milpitas, and then they took down Valley Christian, who's actually looked like a regional team, a state-bound team. Who do you think's got a better story?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's crazy to pick between both of these teams. I mean, on one hand, you have the least recognized undefeated team left in the game. And then you have the Cinderella story, who's knocked off Milpitas and now Valley Christian. I think the better storyline is going to be whoever wins this game. That's who's going to take it. And I'm hoping, for my prediction's sake, that it's SHP.
All right, well, you're going to be there Friday night, and it's going to be a great game, so I can't wait to see the highlights.
Yep, I'll be there. See you guys there.
All right, moving on from one big game to the next, we go up north to the North Coast section. Clayton Valley, Ugly Eagles taking on Concord Minutemen. We got Justin Lum on this one. So Justin, what do you think about this game?
Man, this is a barn burner of a game. I'm so excited to see this. I didn't get to see Clayton Valley and Concord last time, but let me tell you something. I picked Concord. The last time Concord lost a game was against Clayton Valley, 48-40. We've got a high-powered passing offense with Mitch Daniels, who's thrown for 54 touchdowns, and he's got a receiver, Mason Knight, who's caught 23 of those touchdowns. That's just impeccable at the high school level. But you know what? How do you keep a good offense like that off the field? You run the ball, you chew the clock, and who does Clayton Valley have? They have Miles Harrison, who's rushed for almost 2,000 yards. This guy's amazing. He was the Game of the Week MVP. And they've also got a solid defense. They've been just giving up, 13 points a game this season. The highest score they gave up was to Concord. If they can do what they've been doing all season to be undefeated at 13-0, I think Clayton Valley takes this one. Cold weather, they're going to pound the ball, they're going to chew the clock. That's how you keep Concord's points off the board.
Well, it is going to be the Game of the Week, and you and I are going to be there. But let me just throw this out to you. Out of all the Game of the Weeks that you've done this year so far, which one stands out the most?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot. What stands out for me? You gotta go with Bellerman and Valley Christian last week. You gotta go with that WCL match, 21-18. Troy Martic broke the internet with his game-winning run, basically, 58 yards. And this team has been, doubted. I've doubted them. We've all doubted them, myself. And they beat Milpitas 9-6 in overtime. And then when they're about to face the War Boys and everyone says, well, the Cinderella story is over, guess what they do? They just win, baby.
Now, I want to ask you the same question I asked Kaylee. As far as the storyline, this Bellerman squad and this Sacred Heart Prep squad, I mean, they both have a really good storyline going. Which one would you pick between?
Hey, man. Not my prediction, but it doesn't matter. I'm rolling with Bellerman all the way to the end.
Serious?
Bellerman has just won my heart over. You can don't call it favoritism, people out there, because I predicted against him before, but I seen him live in action. This team, I talked to Coach Jonathan. I said, is it a team of destiny? Of course, he shot down that question. But you know what? I really think they are. They could go to state. Bellerman just needs to stop Ben Burr-Curvin. BBK, he's a beast. But you know what? With Bellerman, it's all about the 11 guys on the field.
All right, thank you, Justin. And now we go from one big championship rivalry game to the next. We go back to the CCS. Edwin Wise is standing by to talk about the Midi Monarchs and the St. Francis Lancers.
1 versus 2 in the CCS Division II Championship. Both teams have been dominant in the playoff run, but I'm going to have to go once again with the Midi Monarchs. 3 straight games over 40 points. They put up a 59-point outing against Wilcox after it was a tight first half. Brett Foley is playing out of his mind right now, and the supporting cast has been healthy and strong and consistent. Defense locked things down in the second half, shutting out Wilcox. That's the biggest key for me. St. Francis, they cruised past Leland, but you know what? They did get that win earlier in the season. The missed field goal by Midi sealed the deal for St. Francis. Their last 3 matchups have all been decided by 1 point. So this is coming down to the wire, but I think Midi, the way that offense is clicking right now, it's gonna be in their favor this time around. I predict probably a 21-20 matchup. Bubeck, the kicker, he's gonna make the difference, I think. We've seen the 2 missed field goals. I think they win it on a game-winning field goal.
Wow, so you think it's going to be the special teams that's going to step up in this game. Now let me ask you this question. As far as the consolation round for 5th place, you got Sarah versus Milpitas. What do you think of that game?
Well, Alf, you said earlier in the year that you wanted to see a Milpitas versus Sarah matchup, Jack Dreyer versus Jason Skrempos. We are going to see that, but in a little different way, the 5th place game. Yes, there's not really much to play for in this one, but for the seniors, this could be their last ever game. You got to play for pride. This is their championship game. They want to shake off those early disappointments in the playoffs. So they'll come to play. I expect a really hard-fought game. Milpitas really has to limit their own problems. They've been hurting themselves with penalties, and but Sarah really needs to come up. They've been kind of inconsistent, but I still think it's going to be a good matchup.
Real quick though, Los Gatos versus the War Boys.
War Boys, we thought they were championship bound. I mean, it was a little disappointing, but they should show up against Los Gatos. Same thing for the Wildcats. They wanted it. They took a good hard-fought game with the Gators, came up short. So I think both of them want to leave this 2014 season on a high note.
All right, Edwin, well, thank you for that. And to the rest of the GSF crew, thank you for taking the time to do your research and make these bold predictions. And I swear, you know, people enjoyed this segment, and that's why we keep doing it. And we love the feedback, we love the interaction, so just keep it going. Now, as far as announcement, I have one major announcement coming out next week. So you guys stay connected to Get Sports Focus Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you haven't followed us, you might want to do it like soon, because next week we're gonna roll out something really cool that I know for sure you guys are gonna love. So with that, GSF predictions in the books, championship weekend coming up. I'm Alf Joaquin. Peace out.